What makes Clank such a great gaming experience? And why do my wife and I keep coming back to it? We're going to check that out today. Let's take a look. Gen Con here in the year 2026 is having a big release with the 10-year anniversary of Clank the deck building adventure game Master Thief Edition. So I thought what better time to take a look at the original Clank the deck building game, one of my wife and I's favorite games that we have in our collection. We come back to it all the time. Clank is what it says, a deck building game where you're going to be delving into a dungeon trying to gather artifacts and get out without allowing the dragon a chance to catch you. Let's head to the rules rundown to see how we make this happen. Come on. The goal of Clank is to make it from the above ground to the below ground, grabs one of these artifacts, and then get out in order to get a mastery token. You do just need to make it above this line right here in order to score your point. Now in order to do this, you're going to be using your deck. On your turn, you'll go ahead and just draw 5 cards. You're going to flip those over, and these cards are going to do various things. You're going to have some cards give you a movement. These are skill points in order to buy more cards. You'll be able to buy cards that have swords, which will allow you to fight monsters as well as be able to make it through some of these tunnels. Those are the only symbols you got to deal with on cards in the games. And then there will be some cards such as this one that have text that you'll follow. This one is going to give you a clank, which is no bueno. That's you making noise, attracting the dragon's attention. So on your turn, you have to play through all of your cards. So you do your stumble, discard that. Maybe you go ahead and have your guy up here. You move following these connected paths right there. So we've used those to movement, and then you have your skill points to spend on cards. As you look at cards such as these guys here, the bottom tells you how many skill points it takes. So this guy, 2, 6. And you buy as many as you can. You do have these cards over here on the side that are always going to be available. Just a stack of explorer cards, mercenaries, secret tomes, which are only points, don't do anything else for you. And then this goblin that is always here, you can whack him for 2 swords to get a coin. These are unique cards that will change as people buy them. The majority of the cards are going to be these blue ones, where some of them will give you endgame points, and then most of them will just give you abilities. Some other cards that might show up include these purple ones and are one-time use. So this one, you use it, get a coin or a heart, and then it would be discarded from the game. Then you also have these monsters that'll show up where you'll have the amount that you need to defeat them, and then you'll get the reward listed here, and then they will go away. Some like this kobold have this text here where you have to pull an extra cube when dragon attacks, and this symbol right here means that there is a dragon attack. And basically what that means is once the dragon attacks, you'll take any clank that's here, drop them into this cool dragon bag, and then you'll look down here, pull out however many cubes are in there, and as you reach into the bag, I might pull out these 3, and it's like rats, just put that in there. This is going to be a hit. Once you get 10 of those, you're going to be out of the game unless you made it above ground. Then you'll be able to score your points. And then these guys right here are dragon cubes, which will just get discarded, and they'll protect players from getting got right at the beginning of the game. Now that's the flow of the game. It's literally just play your 5 cards, buy cards to build your deck up, get cooler abilities, stronger turns in order to maneuver through this map. You have right here the symbols like this. This means it requires 1 extra movement to move. I already mentioned these guys right here, these monsters, that you'll have to spend a sword to move through. If you don't, that'll take a hit down here. You also notice these lock icons here. You will have to be able to buy a key in order to get that, which I'll explain here in a second. And then you'll have you have these crystal caves where if you move into those, you will no longer be able to move. And then you'll have these arrows, which means you can only move the direction that they're pointing. So you couldn't move from this space through here, you can only move up to it. Now, as you're moving through these passages, you'll notice these question marks, and these are just bonuses. As you move in, you'll be able to flip one and get the bonus that's listed. These are minor bonuses, these are major bonuses. Now, in order to buy from the shop over here, you have to come down to these market spaces denoted by sale shops. Once you're there, if you have 7 coins, you can buy any of these 3 items. The crown will help you with certain cards that have abilities that fire off if you have a crown, and then are worth points at the end of the game. If you get a key that lets you go through locked doors. The backpack here, if you buy it, you'll be able to get 2 of these special artifacts before you leave. And that's the game. You're just going to be meandering about. You have some extra bonus points over here that you can get from the monkey idols, and then you just boogie on out and try to get the most points. Fairly simple game here with Clank, the deck building game. Let's head to our good, the bad, and the biblical. If you have an idea how to play Clank, the deck building game, let's take a look at the good, the bad, and the biblical, a section where I tell you the things I enjoy about the games, the things I don't enjoy so much, as well as a parental guide of sorts in the biblical section. I'll explain things that may not be family friendly or not Christ glorifying in the game. So let's start off with the good, and I like to start off with the components. The components are solid in this game. The cards have good quality. They've held up over a lot of plays, and the tokens have held up well. There's not a ton of great components, I would say, in this game. I think the art, honestly, is just fine. It's good enough for what the game has to offer. I do like the felt bag that it comes with the dragon tokens. That looks really cool, as well as the dragon meeple there that moves along the track. But otherwise, this components are solid. Now, for the gameplay itself, I love the simplicity of it. This is my favorite type of deck building. Just draw 5 cards, do exactly what they say, and you just have to be very tactical, be very responsive to the cards that come up, and be ready to shift your strategy based on how you're able to move at a given time, or how you're able to attack, and just solve that turn's puzzle that are presented to you with the cards that you have in your hand. Then you just shuffle them back up, do it again once you run out. Building your deck up is fun. There's so many different avenues to go with your deck building. Sometimes you can create a deck where you're just drawing all of them, so you pretty much see every card that you have in your hand at any given time. There are ways to get rid of cards, which feels great when you come across those. Maybe you're heavy into movement, maybe you're heavy into combat, whatever it is. And what's great is that either way can be viable. So I really enjoy that aspect of the game. And then it has a little bit of that push your luck, which I can kind of take or leave, and we'll get to that more in the bad section on this game. But the push your luck can be good if you really like that. You've got just a couple of lives left, you don't know when that next dragon attack is going to come from the deck. Are you going to hang out, try to gather a few more points, or you're going to book it up out of the depths in order to get the points that you have and try to get that mastery token, which can be the difference between winning and losing, getting that mastery token or not. So there's a little bit of that going on in the game. All the bonuses feel great when you pick those up. There's not a single time you pick up a bonus you're like, oh, like maybe you wanted a heart token this time, but it's always going to be something useful, and that's awesome. So that's great. I like that there's 2 sides of the board. There's one side that's the easy side, which you saw in the rundown, but if you flip that board over, there is a harder side of it where there's just a lot more monsters, just a different layout. So it does have a little replayability there, flipping that around. As well as it's a huge deck. You're very rarely going to see every card over the course of one game of Clank. So there's plenty of replayability with the amount of cards, even just in the base game. So those are all the things I enjoy about it. Like I said, the art is just fine. Thematically, you do feel that getting down, trying to sneak around, you can get cards that can get rid of Clank. You've got some that you'll tattle on other characters, so it does have that thematicness to the game as you're going around. It's a little bit of a zany theme, just the way they have everything. It's very jovial, so I do enjoy that as well. So So let's get into things I don't enjoy so much. I do like the components for the most part. The market piece that you saw in the rundown, that does not come in the base game. That came with one of the expansions to Clank. So that can be a little tough finding a good spot for those around the board. Following the pathways on there can be tough at first, but if you're just kind of careful and are mindful of those, then it's not that big of a deal. But we'll say with that push your luck, this game can have some dud games. I think the first time my wife and I played this, we both died like 10 minutes into the game. Just the way the bag was pulling and how we were putting our Clank in. And then there's plenty of times where, honestly, especially even in a 2 to 3 player game, if 2 of the people get knocked out in the depths, they don't count their points, and you just get above ground. I don't know, it just feels like a little bit of an empty victory if just counting your points at all gets you the win because the other 2 got. And I get it, I mean, that was on them. They could see where their cubes are, but there is a little bit of that luck in the game as well. And just how those cubes come out. Sometimes somebody can just get got, and even if somebody has clearly more Clank in the bag, the other person, just by the way they were pulled, will lose the game. So that can be something if that's not something you're into. But that is the things I don't enjoy about the game. Let's get into the biblical aspect of it. Now, this game as a theme, it is silly. It's called You Want to Be the Best Burglar. You're trying to thieve from this dragon, whether it's an evil dragon or not, I'm not really sure. But that's the gist of the game, so obviously if that's not something you want to be a part of, then this game wouldn't be for you with that. You are taking out monsters down in the depths. There are some wands and such that you can get in the game that allow you to teleport. There are characters such as clerics that are in the game that have a little bit of that mystical aspect to it. It's very a fantastical type of theme amongst the cards. So there is stuff like that you might want to be mindful of as far as this theme goes. So that's going to do it for the good, the bad, and the biblical. We're going to finish this up with my final thoughts and ratings of the game. So Clank, this was one of the first games my wife and I got when we were first getting into the hobby. And this is one that's so funny. My wife did not like the cover of this game, wasn't really excited to play it. It was one, as soon as we did, the gameplay just hooked us. We absolutely love this style of deck building. I know we've said that many times before, but it's just awesome. The building of your deck, seeing the cool combos that come out. Even though there's not a ton of strategy outside of just the cards that you get, and then you shuffle it up and see what happens, there's a lot of luck that goes down in the game, which, saying it out loud, isn't something that I should really enjoy. I don't love that a lot of the times, but in this game, for whatever reason, it just works. The way, again, the combos hit, the monsters that come out, the zany nature of it. You got a lot of thematicness going on in the cards and actions that you're taking. You can feel like you're doing some of these things. Like you have the magic carpet that'll let you fly through crystal caves and you get to zip through there. You've got crystal golems that you can only fight in a crystal cave. Nice thematic connection right there. And then there's just so many things like that. You've got a king and queen card that only fire off if you have a crown. I just like all those little things that they put into the game to help you change up your strategy each game, because sometimes you might not go for the crowns all the time, but oh, I got this card that needs that, so I'm going to try to get that. And then you have the strategy of just getting coins. One game I played, it was actually really fun. I almost won just going for coins. I just got like a small artifact, and then I just didn't buy anything. I was just getting as many coins as possible. I came within 2 points of winning that game, actually. So that's a lot of fun. The different strategies, different ways you can play. So much fun in this game. We love it, and that's why this game is getting a 10 out of 10 for my wife and I. We couldn't recommend it more. If anything that we said is something that you enjoyed, there is not a single person that we played this with that has been like, yeah, we didn't really enjoy this. Everybody has enjoyed playing this game with us, and it really hooked my wife's brother and sister-in-law, and even my wife's brother, they fell in love with this game. They started getting all kinds of different expansions for it and just had a blast with it. So this is a fantastic game. Super excited for that 10-year anniversary. Would love to get my hands on that edition of it. But that is going to do it for my review for Clank, the deck building game. Let me know down in the comments if this is a game that is a hit at your table, or if you disagree, your thoughts on why that would be. I'd love to hear from you on that. We have quite a few reviews up on the channel, a lot of throwback reviews as well. Go ahead and check those out if you haven't already. And be sure to, if you enjoyed what you saw, hit the like and subscribe button. A free way to show support for the channel, allow us to make more content like this. And speaking of Gen Con, where this game is coming out, we just put up our top 10 anticipated games from Gen Con. My wife and I did, as well as tier ranking every single game that is coming out at Gen Con, give or take. You'll see in the review in that video. So go ahead and check those out. And until next time, don't get caught in the depths and stay awesome.